Raider Nation, hey, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report brought to you by BetDSI. The Oakland Raiders 2019 schedule has officially been released. I don't know about you, but I cannot wait for this year. The Raiders are going at 16-0, right? 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I will say this, though. The Raiders do have the hardest schedule in the NFL based on 2018 win percentage. Think about this. Games against 10-win teams, 7. Games against playoff teams in 2018, 7. Raider Nation, I'm just telling you right now, it's going to be a tough road ahead, but I'm excited that we get to do it together. Now, Raiders schedule week 1, open it up against the Denver Donkeys. Monday Night Football at 10:20 p.m. Eastern Time. The Broncos, they got a new head coach in Vic Fangio. They also have a new quarterback named Joe Flacco, and I'm kind of liking where this one's going to go. But when I think about the AFC West rivalry and I think about the Raiders and the Broncos, I don't know about you. I think the Broncos are the team that I dislike the most. So in 59 seasons, the all-time record, the Broncos do have a better all-time record. Now, when I look at the series wins, though, that advantage is to the Raiders. Playoff record, advantage Raiders. Super Bowl record, advantage Raiders. So that's all I'm saying. Raider Nation, better team than the Broncos? Believe it, baby. Let's look now at week 2. Going up against the defending AFC West champs and going up against Patrick Mahomes, who threw for 50 touchdowns last year in his last year's NFL MVP. This is a real tough matchup. I'm excited to see what the Raiders can do. They played the Chiefs pretty tough last year in Oakland, losing 40-33. All I'm saying is, now with a new retooled offense with Antonio Brown and Tyrell Williams, we might be able to give this Chiefs secondary some fits. AFC West rivalry time. 59 seasons for both. Advantage, all-time record does go to the Chiefs, but playoff record, that's embarrassing. 10-19, not so good. Now, the Chiefs have beat the Raiders a little bit more. They got 65 wins compared to our 53 in terms of the series. Super Bowl record, though. Advantage Raiders. That's what I like to see. Let's go to week 3. Let's get out of the AFC West, and let's look at the NFC North against the Minnesota Vikings, who went 8-7-1 last year. The last time that the Raiders played the Vikings won 30-14. This is the second year of Kirk Cousins. All I'm saying is, I am not the biggest believer in Kirk Cousins when you get $84 million guaranteed and you don't take your team to the playoffs, especially a team like the Vikings, who all around I think are a pretty well put together team. All I'm saying is I'm going to be tuning in September 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Raiders-Vikings, Week 3. Let's look now at Week 4. Let's head to the AFC South. The Colts made the playoffs in 2018. Andrew Luck, 39 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. The Raiders played the Colts last year. They lost 42-28. It was a close game up until about the end there. All around, though, this is going to be a really good game for the Raiders. You got to go into Minnesota, and you got to go into Indianapolis. That's 2 tough back-to-back games. So here are the first 4 games of the Raiders' 2019 schedule. Against Denver Broncos, Week 1, fingers crossed for a win there. The Kansas City Chiefs, and then on the road against the Vikings, and then on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. I got a question for everybody who's watching. What year did you attend your first Raiders game? I'm always blown away by the nation and, just to see all these people interacting with me on IG and on Twitter. So I want to know from everybody watching, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, what year did you attend your first Raiders game? I'm hoping mine is in 2019. Let's look ahead now to Week 5. London, Bears, Raiders, the Khalil Mack game. Oh, man, I can't wait for this one. To be honest, I'm really, really hoping that we can somehow figure out a way for me to go to this game. I would absolutely love to be able to sit there, maybe drink some tea, watch the Raiders rip on the Bears a little bit. Hey, this is going to be one of those games where I think we go back and look at. And I don't know if you guys know this, but in London they drink tea. So you know what? I got a little bit of a tea bag here, and you know what I'm thinking, Raider Nation? I'm thinking the Raiders are going to teabag the Bears. What up? And I'm going to bet on it at BetDSI. Use my promo code Raiders120 for 120% deposit bonus. Chatsports.com/bet. You get that 120% deposit bonus. Yeah, you're welcome when you use Raiders120. Chatsports.com/bet. Take the Raiders to beat the Bears. Who's with me? Yeah, Raider Nation, let's get it. All right. Now, week 6, the Raiders are on a bye. And I'm probably going to bet on BetDSI because what else am I going to do? And then I'm going to go to week 7 where the Raiders are going up against the Packers. And this is a tough road game. This is going to be a tough road game. I understand the Packers didn't make the playoffs last year, 6-9-1. But they got Aaron Rodgers, who's arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. Well, now Russell Wilson pays more than him, but sometimes money doesn't mean everything, right? As I stumble across my words. This is the stretch, though, of the season where I think the Raiders really need to turn it on. Because think about this, all right? The Raiders played a home game in week 2, and then they're not going to play another home game, or at least be back in Oakland, until week 9. But let's talk about week 8 now. The Raiders going up against the Texans, who won the AFC South. Now, this scares me a little bit because Deshaun Watson is a quarterback that I really like, and they also have, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in the NFL in DeAndre Hopkins. The fact that Watson now is entering year 3, this Texans team, I'm telling you right now, is going to be one of the better teams in the NFL. This is going to be a tough matchup in Houston, Texas on October 27th. Right before Halloween, maybe some spooky stuff will happen. Maybe the Raiders can get a win. Now, like I said before, we're going to week 9. The Raiders haven't played in Oakland since week 2. Think about that. That is a long, long time. November 3rd, 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time in Oakland, California against Matthew Stafford and the Lions. The all-time series record for the Raiders against the Lions is 6-6. So hopefully the Raiders can get the edge here at 7-6. This is going to be a big-time game because, like I said before, they got a tough schedule ahead. But luckily, they got Matthew Stafford, and he's not very good against winning teams. Here we go. 2019 schedule from week 5 to week 9. The Chicago Bears in London. T-Bags, get them ready. Week 6 bye. Green Bay Packers in week 7. Week 8 against the Houston Texans at Houston. And then week 9 versus the Detroit Lions. So, we are halfway through the schedule now. And I want to know from everybody watching, which NFL team do you hate the most? Okay, don't hold anything back. Let me know in the comments section. So on Facebook, on YouTube, I want to know, which NFL team do you hate the most? Is it an AFC West team? Is it the Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers? If I'm a betting man, and I am, BetDSI, I'm going to put my money that you guys hate the Broncos the most. I'm also a betting man that this is the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe, youtube.com/Raiders Report, where I'm interacting with the nation every single day. Interact with me on IG and Twitter at MitchellRenz365. Turn on your notifications so you know exactly when I go live every single day. One more time, nation. Subscribe, youtube.com/Raiders Report. You ready to go to week 10? I know I am. Let's head on in now to week 10 where they're going up against the Chargers. The Chargers here, which another AFC West game, and ultimately, you know, I think the Chargers are one of those better teams, and 12-4 last year, second in the AFC West. Now, they beat the Raiders 20-6 last year. Here's the other thing. The Raiders haven't beaten the Chargers since 2016. Derek Carr last year, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 512 yards in the 2 games versus the Chargers. The Chargers are a tough team, but the thing to look at here is this game's on Thursday night. So the Raiders are playing on November 3rd against the Lions and then go quick turnaround against the Chargers November 7th. Telling you what, it's going to be a tough game. Now let's look at the AFC West rivalry between the Raiders and the Chargers. All-time record, advantage Raiders. Playoff record, big advantage Raiders. Series record, advantage Raiders. Super Bowl record, advantage Raiders. Can I get a Raider Nation for life in the comment section? Let's get it. Week 11, Cincinnati Bengals against the Oakland Raiders. November 17th at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Bengals got a new head coach, Zach Stacy. Brian Callahan, remember him? He's the offensive coordinator there. Both teams did not have above a 500 record. I think, though, when I'm looking at this game, I'm going to Cincinnati in a few weeks for Tom's wedding. Maybe an early present for me would be the Raiders beating the Bengals in Week 11. Here we go. Week 12, the Jets. I would love to go to this game. My dad, shout out to you, huge Jets fan. I would absolutely love, though, to see the Raiders march into East Rutherford, because let's be real, they don't even play in New York, and take down Le'Veon Bell. Let's show Le'Veon Bell what he missed out on. Le'Veon Bell, you could have been in silver and black. Instead, you chose gang green. Raiders, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, take down the New York Jets in Week 12. A familiar face, the Kansas City Chiefs. We got to go into Kansas City. And the last time we went into Kansas City, we lost 35-3. Wow, I'm hoping that it's a little bit different around this time. I will say this, though. I'm hoping at this time, Week 13, this game means a lot more than what it meant last year when the Raiders went into Kansas City, Week 17, and it just got absolutely obliterated. Now let's look from Week 10 till Week 13. Home game against the Chargers, home game against the Bengals, and then we're heading to New York, East Rutherford, to play the Jets, and then Week 13 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I want to show you this real quick. This is the last 5 times the Raiders made the playoffs. 2016, 2002, 2001, 2000, and then my birthday year, 1993. So you know what I'm going to ask you? Get ready for it. Will the Raiders make the playoffs in 2019? I want you to type 4 for Believe It, baby, or type a 0 for Tuck Rule, Tuck That. I'm hoping I see a lot of 4s. And if you're typing that 4, why don't you bet on it at BetDSI. Chatsports.com/bet. Use my promo code Raiders120. Well, only use it if you like free money. And use it, and then you get a 120% deposit bonus. The internet's #1 sportsbook is at BetDSI. If you want to bet on NBA games, you can do it. You want to bet on the NFL draft, you can do it. You want to bet on if the Raiders are going to make the playoffs in 2019? Do it at BetDSI. Chatsports.com/bet. Week 14 against the Tennessee Titans, led by Marcus Mariota. 3 straight years, a 9-7 season for the Titans. The last time the Titans played the Raiders, they lost 26-16 back in 2017. Now this game's in December 8th at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. The AFC South, I think, is one of the tougher divisions, but I'm hoping the Raiders can hold it down. Let's go to the AFC South again. Jacksonville, they're coming to us, though. 5-11 last year. They traded for Nick Foles. They made it to the 2017 AFC Championship game back in 2017 and lost to Tom Brady and the Patriots. Here's the thing, though. This Jags team has got a tough defense. And with Nick Foles, who they just signed to a 4-year deal, maybe the Jaguars can get it going again. Tough matchup. I understand they went 5-11, but Raider Nation, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a tough game, Week 15. Week 16, we're heading to L.A., the Chargers, who the last time the Raiders went into L.A., they lost 26-10. They haven't beaten the Chargers since 2016, so I'm hoping we can get that changed around a little bit. Phillip Rivers, Hunter Henry, Melvin Gordon, Keenan Allen. Tough games, tough duo there. I will say this, though. This game, December 22nd, it is the only game that is still TBD in terms of time, okay? It is the only game on the 17-week schedule here for the Raiders, 16-game schedule. Guys, I'm telling you, I didn't drink at all. TBD, so that's all I'm saying. All right, last game, Week 17 against the Donkeys. We start off with the Donkeys. We're ending with the Donkeys. Hoping we start with a win, and I'm hoping we end with a win as well. December 29th at 4:25 Eastern Time in Denver, Colorado, in the Mile High City. All I want for Christmas is a win against the Broncos. Who's with me? Yeah, you better be. All right, let's look now at weeks 14 to 17. We're going against the Tennessee Titans, as I said that like I'm from Tennessee, Jacksonville Jaguars, the Los Angeles Chargers, and then at the Denver Broncos. So let's look at all the home games. So week 1 against the Broncos, week 2 against the Chiefs. We got week 5 against the Bears, home game in London. Week 9 against the Lions. Then we got week 10 against the LA Chargers. Week 11 against the Bengals, Titans, and then the Jags. So guess where I'm going now? On the road. Vikings, Colts, Packers, and Texans. And then the last 4 away games, the Jets, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and then finishing up our season is Week 17 against the Broncos. So, Raider Nation, which game should I go to this year? I would like to go to a game in Oakland, but if I have to pick one game, which one should it be? All right, so I want you to comment below. Let me know, and if you want to fly me out, you got season tickets, slide in those DMs at MitchellRenz365. If you're just joining me, let's loop through the schedule one more time of the Raiders 2019 schedule. Week 1, Broncos. 2, Chiefs. 3, Vikings. 4, the Indianapolis Colts. It's a tough start here for the Raiders, but I'm confident they can get it going. Let's look now, weeks 5 through 9, the Bears in London. Week 6, nice little bye week. Packers, Texans, Lions. Let's look now at week 10 here with the Chargers, the Bengals, the Jets, playing the Chiefs again there in week 13, the Titans in week 14, the Jags, week 15, the Chargers in week 16, and then the Denver Broncos in week 17. Predict the Raiders 2019 record. I gave you all the games. I gave you all the home games, all the away games, the entire schedule for the Oakland Raiders in 2019. So I want you to predict How many wins? How many losses? Is there going to be a tie? Let me know in the comments section. And also, if you want to see what I think, I'm putting it on my IG, at MitchellRenz365. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.